Now we'll start with the earthworm. Okay, here we'll learn everything about the earthworm, from its body organization, organ system, reproduction, fertilization, everything. Okay, so these are some basic points of earthworm. That earthworm is reddish brown terrestrial invertebrate that inhabits the upper layer of the moist soil. Okay, during daytime they live in burrows made by burrowing and swallowing the soil. Thus you all know. In the gardens they can be traced by their fecal deposit known as worm casting. So circular soil debris you can see, and these are nothing but worm castings which are made by earthworm. Okay, and the common Indian earthworms are Ferritima and Lumbricus. Okay, so the common Indian earthworms are Ferritima and Lumbricus. You have to remember these are the genus name. It will be Ferritima posthuma. Okay, so the common Indian earthworms are Ferritima and Lumbricus. Okay, now we come to the external morphology. Okay, earthworms have long cylindrical body. The body is divided into more than 100 short segments which are similar, that is metameres, about 100 to 120 in number. We already know what are metameres. Okay, we studied about metameres in chapter 4th, and these animals show a phenomena that is metamerism. Their body is externally as well as internally segment into many segments. Okay, so the body of the earthworm is divided into more than 100 short segments which are similar, that is metameres, about 100 to 120 in number. So when you start from the top segment to the last segment, the whole body is made up of metameres. The dorsal surface of the body is marked by a dark median mid dorsal line along the longitudinal axis of the body. Okay. Now dorsal side of the body, that is the upper side of the body, will be marked by a dark median mid dorsal line, that is the dorsal blood vessels along the longitudinal axis of the body. So in this diagram you can see a thread like substance coming from the top segment to the end segment, and that is nothing but the dark median dorsal line you can see. Okay, now the ventral surface is distinguished by the presence of genital pores. Okay, so you can say that on the outer dorsal side of the body there will be a dark median mid dorsal line, and on the ventral surface it is distinguished by the presence of genital openings. Okay, the anterior end consists of mouth and the prostomium. Okay, so the anterior end of the earthworm will have a mouth opening and prostomium. Okay, a lobe which serves as a covering for the mouth and as a wedge to force open cracks in the soil into which the earthworm may crawl. The prostomium is sensory in function. Okay, see here you can see in this diagram a flap like substance like this, and here is the mouth opening. This is the mouth opening. Okay, and this is the flap like substance. So this flap like substance is nothing but the prostomium. Okay, it helps in what? It is having sensory cells, okay, which can sense the surrounding environment, and it will help in covering the mouth, and it will act as a wedge to force open the cracks in the soil so that the earthworm can easily slide inside the soil. Okay, so earthworms have long cylindrical body. The body is divided into more than 100 short segments which are similar, that is metameres, about 100 to 120 in number. The dorsal surface of the body is marked by a dark median mid dorsal line, that is dorsal blood vessels along with the longitudinal axis of the body. The ventral surface is distinguished by the presence of genital openings. Anterior end consists of mouth and the prostomium, a lobe which serves as a covering for mouth and as a wedge to force open cracks in the soil into which the earthworm may crawl, and the prostomium is sensory in function. Okay, now we come to the clitellum. Now the first body segment is called the peristomium. Okay, prostomium was present on the upper side, that is the buccal segment which contains the mouth. Okay, in a mature worm segments 14 to 16, this all you have to remember, When we are talking about a mature worm, segments 14 to 16 are covered by a prominent dark band of glandular tissue, which is called clitellum. It secretes mucus and albumin for the formation of cocoon or egg capsule. This we will learn in detail when we come to the topic, that is reproduction. Okay, so you just have to remember that in a mature worm, 14 to 16 segments are covered by a prominent dark band of glandular tissue, and this dark band is known as clitellum. Okay, now this is important for the secretion of mucus and albumin, which will help in the formation of cocoon or egg capsule. Thus, the body can be divided, or we say that the body is divisible into three prominent regions, that is pre-clitellar. Okay, C is missing here, sorry. Clitellar and post-clitellar. Okay, so 14 to segment is the 16 segments are the clitellum. So before that are the pre-clitellar substances, and after that are the post-clitellar segments. Okay. Now, what are setae? Now, these setae are necessary, or they help in the locomotion of the earthworm. In each body segment, except the first, last, and the clitellum, there are rows of S-shaped setae embedded in the epidermal pits in the middle of each segment. Setae can be extended and retracted. Okay, they will help in the locomotion. So when moving forward, they will be extended, and when moving backwards, they will be retracted. Okay, their principal role is in locomotion. So here in the third diagram, you can see here, this is the setae. Okay, these are the fine rows of H-shaped setae. Okay, this here brown color substance you can see easily here. Okay, see here, you will able to see here, this is what, this is setae. Okay, now this setae is helping in the this is S-shaped and is embedded in the epidermal pits in the middle of each segment. They can be extended or retracted, and the principal role is in locomotion. Okay, so now we'll talk about the apertures. Okay, 4 pairs of spermathecal apertures are situated on the ventrolateral side, that is side, ventral side, and on the sides of the intersegmental grooves, that is 5th to 9th segments. A single female genital pore is present in the mid-ventral line of the 14th segment. The pair of male genital pore are present on the ventral lateral sides of the 18 segments, and numerous minute pores called nephridiophores open on the surface of the body. This you have to remember. Like 4 pairs of spermathecal apertures are situated on the ventrolateral sides of the intersegmental grooves. Okay. Here you can see in the diagram, this 5th to 9th. Ventrolateral sides means this is 1 segment, this is 2 segment, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. Okay, so it will be present on the segment here, then again on this segment, again on this segment. See here, you can see in the diagram very easily. Now, a single female genital pore is present in the mid-ventral line on the 14th segment. A pair of male genital pores are present on the ventrolateral sides of the 18th segment, and numerous minute pores called nephridiophores open on the surface of the body. Okay, so here you can see the female genital pore. It is located in the center, and these male genital apertures are situated on the ventrolateral side. See, this is the segment. So this is the ventral side, and lateral side will be like this. So these are the male genital pores. Okay, so this was all about the apertures. So 4 pairs of spermathecal apertures are situated on the ventrolateral sides of the intersegmental grooves. A single female genital pore is present in the mid-ventral line of 14th segment. A pair of male genital pore are present on the ventrolateral sides of the 18 segments, and numerous minute pores called nephridiophores open on the surface of the body. Okay. Now we come to the digestive system of the earthworm. See, here we know that as the body is divided into many segments, okay, so each and everything will be found in a particular segment. So you have to remember the number of that segment, and the starting and the end of the that organ which is used in digestive system in the segment. Okay. Now here the diagram is given, but it's not clear. You can see that in your textbook. Okay, so first we are talking about the alimentary canal. So first we'll say about mouth. So mouth is the terminal opening in the peristomium overhung by the prostomium. Okay, extends from first to third segment. Small pear-shaped sac from middle segment. Okay, so first segment, that is the terminal opening, is the prostomium, that is the mouth. Okay, which is having a periphery, that is peristomium. Now buccal cavity is from segment 1 to segment 3. Pharynx is a small pear-shaped sac which will be found from third segment to the fourth segment, middle of the third segment to the end of the fourth segment. Now esophagus is a narrow tubular structure which will be found from fifth to seventh segment. Okay, gizzard is a prominent oval hard thick wall muscular organ in segment 8 to 9. It grinds the food with the help of thick muscles and the cuticle. Okay, so muscular organ will be present which will be hard and thick wall, and which will help in the grinding of the food with the help of muscles and the cuticle. Now what is stomach? Stomach is a narrow tubular structure from 9th to 14th segment, highly vascular and glandular, that means secretion will be there. The chalky secretion of the calciferous glands will do what? Will neutralize the humic acid in the humus. Okay, what is humus? The nutritive material which is present on the soil, on the upper side of the soil, which will be taken by the earthworm. Okay, so these calciferous glands will neutralize the humic acid present in the humus, which is taken as food by the earthworm. Now intestine starts from the 15th segment onwards and they continue till the last segment. A pair of short and conical intestinal caecae from the intestine on the 26 segments are present. Okay, the characteristic feature of the intestine between the 26 and the 35 segment is the presence of the internal median fold or the dorsal wall called typhlosole. This will increase the effective area for absorption in the intestine. As we have villi, they have typhlosole, which will help in the absorption purpose, making the surface area more for absorption. And anus, the alimentary canal opens to the exterior by a small rounded aperture called anus. Okay, so we studied what? We studied mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus. Okay, esophagus, gizzard, stomach, intestine and anus. Mouth was the first segment, buccal cavity extended from first to third segment, pharynx third to fourth, esophagus 5th to 7th, gizzard 8th to 9th, which was helping in the grinding because it was having hard muscles and cuticle. Stomach was from 9 to 14 and it was helping in the there was a presence of the calciferous glands which were helping in neutralization of the humic acid which was present in the humus. And in intestine extended from 15 to the last segment, and specifically from segment 26 to 35 segments. Okay, not from 26 to 35 but between 26 to 35 segments. Okay, in the intestine they were having what? They were having typhlosole. Okay, that typhlosole is used for increasing the surface area of absorption, and the anus is the alimentary canal opens to the exterior by a small round aperture which is called as anus. Okay, now we come to the circulatory system. Now circulatory system of earthworm is very easy. Okay, Pheretima exhibits a closed type of blood vascular system consisting of blood vessels, capillaries and heart. Due to the closed circulatory system, blood is confined to the heart and the blood vessels. Okay, now these earthworms are having a closed vascular system. So we can say that closed circulatory system, that means your body will have many tubes in which the blood will be circulated. Now heart is made up of 4 pairs of tubular hearts, 7th and 9th segment lateral hearts, whereas 12 to 13th segment, that is the lateral esophageal hearts. You can see here in the diagram, this is the 7th and the 9th segment, and these are the 12th and the 13th segment. Okay, now anterior loops are present. These are nothing but thin walled non-pulsatile loop like broad vessels without walls, that is in the 10th and the 11th segment. Okay, blood vessels, that is wheel organized vessels which run along the body of the earthworm. You can see here the presence of blood vessels. Now there is a presence of the dorsal blood vessel we saw in the initial morphology. Okay, so dorsal blood vessel, largest blood vessel of the body, running mid dorsally above the alimentary canal from one end to the end of the body to the other. It has valves and receives blood from various parts of the body. And ventral blood vessel, that is also extends from end to end, but it does not have walls. It is the main distributing vessel. Okay, so you have to remember that 4 tubular hearts are present, 7th and 9th and 12 to 13. Okay, anterior loops are present, which are nothing but broad vessels, that is from segment 10 to 11. Now blood vessels are organized into dorsal blood vessel and ventral blood vessels. Now dorsal blood vessel will have valves, but ventral blood vessels will not have valves. Okay, and the dorsal blood vessel is the largest blood vessel of the body, running mid dorsally above the alimentary canal from one end of the body to the other end of the body. Okay, and specifically it has valves. Now blood glands. What are blood glands? Blood glands are nothing but the glands which will secrete something. Glands always secrete something. Okay, so in segment 4th, 5th and 6th, lying above the pharyngeal mass, a small round red colored follicular bodies called as blood glands will be present, and they will produce blood corpuscle and hemoglobin. Now what kind of blood is found in earthworm? Now this blood is made up of colorless plasma and blood cells. The respiratory pigment hemoglobin is present in the plasma and helps in the transport of oxygen. And the only type of blood cell in the leukocyte, and hence is phagocytic in nature. Okay, so blood glands can be found in the 4th, 5th and 6th segment, lying above the pharyngeal mass. Okay, above the pharynx. And they are small mass of red colored follicular bodies, and they secrete what? They secrete blood corpuscle and hemoglobin. Okay, and blood, when we are saying points about blood in earthworm, blood is made up of colorless plasma and blood cells. The respiratory pigment hemoglobin is present in the plasma and helps in the transport of oxygen. Okay, and the only type of blood cell is the leukocyte, and hence is phagocytic in nature. So leukocyte function is to engulf the antigen and destroy it, and similarly this will be helping in the particular fashion. So you can see here the dorsal blood vessels we were talking about. Okay, lateral hearts present. Okay, also we have the anterior loops here, large blood vessels which were present. This is the ventral vessel. Okay, this is the lateral esophageal vessel. Okay, so this is the circulatory system. Okay, heart were present, anterior loop was present, blood vessels dorsal and ventral was present, blood glands are present, and blood is present. Okay, so what we saw in earthworm, we saw the morphology. Okay, first we saw the basic things to know about earthworm. Then we saw in morphology what is peristomium, prostomium, what are metameres, whole body is segmented and they are having 100 to 120 segments. Okay, then we saw clitellum, then we saw setae which were used for the locomotion. Then we saw that because of the clitellum the body can be divisible into 3 parts, which was preclitellar, clitellar and postclitellar. Okay, we saw apertures, spermathecal apertures, female genital pore, male genital pores, and nephridiopores. Okay, nephridiopores will be helping in the excretion purpose. So the location of these pores. Then we saw the digestive system. We saw mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, gizzard, stomach, intestine, and anus. You have to remember that in gizzard it is having a muscular function, that is grinding. It is used in grinding of the food. Stomach is having calciferous cells which are helping in neutralizing the humic acid. Intestine, we have typhlozoal which will increase the surface area for absorption, and finally the anus. Okay, then we saw the circulatory system. In circulatory system we saw heart. We saw that 4 pairs of tubular hearts are present in segment 7 and 9 and 12 and 13. Then we saw anterior loops are present in segment 10 and 11. Okay, then we saw blood vessels, which was dorsal blood vessel and ventral blood vessel. Then we saw blood glands which are present, which will help in the formation of blood corpuscle, that is blood cells, and the hemoglobin, and the blood, which is made up of plasma and blood cells. Okay, now the respiratory pigment hemoglobin is present in plasma and helps in the transport of oxygen, and only leukocytes are present in the blood, which are phagocytic in nature, so that they will engulf any germ and kill it. Okay, like a WBC. Okay, so this was morphology, digestive system, and circulatory system in earthworm.